Hello, Iffy.
Hi.
So you've recently trained up to be a CELTA trainer, and since you shadowed the CELTA course, what kind of support have you been given?
Actually, I've been given quite a lot of support. I mean, in a formal capacity and an informal capacity. For example, I mean, you've been coming around a lot just to help and just to check that I'm okay, whether I need any help with sessions or got any questions, or maybe even regarding how to deal with people. So I thought that was very useful, and also David just checking up on me to ensure that I'm okay with all the material, that I don't have too much work and that I can cope with it. In an informal capacity, I mean, I think everybody's been really helpful, because especially when you're trying to prepare sessions, people are very free with lending their sessions, and also if you want to create one from scratch, you can go around the staff room and pick people's brains, and they kind of really help you and guide you, because sometimes you want to do something amazing, but you've got to keep it quite simple, and it's far more effective that way, because
So talking to colleagues and mentors has been useful. Has anything been particularly useful in terms of the DIY development site?
Yeah, I've been starting to look at some of the videos there. Like, for example, Richard's his session on demos was really useful, and questioning how useful are demos. So, and then I thought that was really useful, because I picked up this one thing from there about the idea of letting your trainees pause in your demos, and I've tried that out recently on both the part-time and the full-time course. Actually, it's quite tough to manage, but you get interesting results in terms of what questions they kind of ask you. Think, really, is that the problem? Because sometimes it's so difficult to get down to that level, because you're coming at it from so much experience, and yet some of these questions that they ask you is like, wow, I would never even thought about that. And it just makes you realise how much support you have to give your trainees, and how far you have to break things down for them. So that was really useful, and I think some of the comments and how people approach feedback, I think, was very useful too, and listening to those little kind of audio clips on those, I found very useful. Yeah.
And is there anything that you would particularly like to focus on in the future? Any other aspects of the role?
I think third hour is fine, because you got all the material and lots of support. I think TP, being TP tutor, that's really tough, I would say. And also SLP, I think those two are the toughest things to do in many respects, in terms of how you look at the book and how you're linking all that theory in. Because if you look at the book, sometimes they don't follow those kind of lesson shapes, and you have to give them advice, but sometimes you think, well, actually, as an experienced teacher, I would actually drop a lot of that and adapt it or supplement it quite a lot. But these trainees are not in a position to do that, so you've got to be quite careful in what you say to them, because